A sea of gleaming steel stretches out under a gray morning sky. Rows upon rows of brand new pickups, their paint still untouched, sitting motionless behind chain-link fences. Just 12 months ago, these machines were symbols of freedom and possibility. Roaring engines carving through open highways, hauling dreams from coast to coast. Now, they're silent sentinels, monuments to a market that suddenly lost its pulse. Last year, dealers celebrated every sale. Today, they count days, weeks, even months, as these trucks gather dust, unsold and unwanted. It's hard to believe that the backbone of American industry could falter so quickly. Yet every unsold Titan, Colorado, and Lightning whispers the same unsettling message. Loyalty has a breaking point. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly which pickup legends fell from grace, how buyer trust unraveled, and why the looming collapse reads far more like a warning than a clearance event. What happens when steel and horsepower aren't enough to guarantee a home in someone's driveway? How did sticker shock, shifting loyalties, and overhyped tech combine to leave once mighty brands begging for interest? And why are dealerships now fighting just to clear space on their lots? The answers begin with one stark reality: too many trucks, too few buyers. In the next chapter, we'll step behind the scenes to see how these oversized warning signs first appeared. Silent alarms that no automaker wants to admit. Imagine driving past a dealership and seeing row after row of shiny trucks, each one looking ready for the open road, but none of them moving. Some lots now report pickup models sitting unsold for more than 130 days, weeks stretching into months. Ram 1500s that once flew off the lot now cling to aging stickers. Even the budget-friendly Ram Classic sits untouched as customers scroll past online listings. In Michigan, drone footage shows Cybertrucks and Lightning F-150s parked bumper to bumper, a strange graveyard for what was supposed to be the future of driving. Dealers whisper about floor plan financing costs growing heavier by the day. With each passing week these trucks lose value, dealers scramble to offer ever larger incentives just to make space. Whispers around the showroom floor mention unsold Titans and Colorado models, forming little clusters at the back, like unwanted cast-offs. But these aren't just numbers on a spreadsheet. They're real machines, built to roar, collecting dust instead. That quiet, creeping oversupply didn't happen overnight. It started when automakers kept production humming full blast, convinced that last year's demand surge would hold. Instead, a perfect storm of rising interest rates and sticker shock slammed the brakes on buyer enthusiasm. Now, trucks that once symbolized rugged reliability appear more like warnings on four wheels. Too many units, too few customers. But inventory woes are only part of the story. Unsold steel and idled assembly lines point to a deeper problem: prices that outpaced paychecks. Up next, we'll dive into how sticker shock pushed buyers away and ignited a spiral that no brand saw coming. New trucks carrying 56,000 plus price tags aren't just numbers on a window sticker. They're barriers keeping buyers in the driveway. Over the past 2 years, sticker prices crept upward as material and labor costs spiked. Today, a mid-level Ford F-150 XLT can easily eclipse $60,000 before taxes and options. Even the entry-level trims flirt with the high 50s. Meanwhile, financing rates have climbed above 7% in many regions, turning what used to be a manageable monthly payment into a stretch. That sweet deal you remember, when a new truck felt like a smart upgrade, is now a salary crusher. Dealers have tried everything to reverse the slide. A Ram 1500 Limited in Pittsburgh might carry a starting MSRP of $65,000, but you'll find it advertised with an $11,000 rebate or 0% financing for 72 months just to clear space. A Colorado LT that once stickered at $45,000 now comes with $4,500 cashback and 2 years of free maintenance. Even Nissan quietly increased Titan incentives by more than $5,000 in early 2024. Yet shoppers still balked, calculating total cost of ownership and resale doubts. Every incentive might get a few extra feet of foot traffic, but most buyers still walk away shaking their heads. Too rich. Here's the kicker. When drifting out of reach, these trucks lose more than sales. They lose credibility. A brand once known for "Built Ford Tough" now feels like "built for stretched credit." A GMC Canyon's $3,000 higher premium over its mechanically identical Colorado reads as nothing more than a badge tax. Similarly, buyers expect a Tundra to start in the 40,000s. When a hybrid model pushes past 70,000, the promise of reliability gets overshadowed by the sticker shock. As monthly payments balloon, long-standing loyalties fray. By the time buyers pinch their eyes at the numbers, the decision is already made. Walk, don't look back. That reluctance ripples through dealer lots. Every unsold pickup is like an echo of distrust. Still, numbers aren't everything. The next twist in this tale lies not in pricing alone, but in the promises of a new era. Electric pickups that sound thrilling on paper but stumble in real life. In Section 3, we'll see how EV euphoria collided with range anxiety and cost realities, leaving many early adopters wondering if silence under the hood is worth the price of admission. When America's best-selling truck went electric, the industry held its breath. The Ford F-150. Lightning burst onto the scene promising silent power and a revolution in towing. Up to 580 horsepower, 775 pound-feet of torque, and a claimed 320-mile range. Headlines hailed it as trucking's future. Dealers prepped for lines of eager buyers ready to swap gas for a plug. But reality hit hard. Hitch a trailer or punch the pedal on the highway, and that 320-mile promise evaporated to around 160 miles. Contractors who depended on predictable range felt trapped. For them, an afternoon's work could become a gamble. Will I make it back before the battery dies? Meanwhile, Tesla's Cybertruck was supposed to flip the script entirely. Angular, futuristic, and boasting comparable range figures. Yet production hiccups, repeated recalls, wiper motor failures and trim issues, slowed deliveries and eroded confidence. Early adopters posted videos of Cybertrucks stranded at charging stations or limping home on limp mode. Popular forums lit up with posts like, "Is this really where we're at with EV pickups?" When excitement faded, dealers found themselves with electric iron that no longer inspired queue-forming enthusiasm. Price played its part too. Even after federal incentives, a fully loaded Lightning topped $100,000. Suddenly, revolution felt like ridiculous, especially in a market already reeling from six-figure ICE models. Dealers began slashing up to $15,000 off MSRP, bundling in free home charging equipment, and waiving 0% financing just to move EV inventory. Some even paused new Lightning orders, unsure if the next batch would sell. This crash from euphoria to uncertainty showed that innovation alone can't carry a sale. Practicality must follow promise. As EV pioneers stalled, buyers looked elsewhere for value. And the next battleground? The mid-size segment, where identity and pricing confusion were already taking root. In Section 4, we'll dig into how trucks like the Chevrolet Colorado, Ford Ranger, and GMC Canyon found themselves caught between fading loyalty and impossible comparisons. Chevrolet's Colorado and GMC's Canyon launched with identical underpinnings, same turbocharged four-cylinder, same towing numbers. Yet the Canyon carried a $3,000 to $5,000 premium just for that upscale badge. Shoppers who compared trim sheets and dollar signs stared at that gap and asked the obvious question, what am I actually paying for? Reviews quickly echoed the sentiment. It's the same truck, just dressed up with fancier upholstery. Once that perception took hold, buyers began writing off the Canyon as the badge tax truck, leaving GMC dealers scrambling to justify the extra cost. Meanwhile, Ford's Ranger found itself stranded in no man's land. Priced above the compact Maverick but below the full-size F-150, it was supposed to be the perfect mid-size compromise. On paper, its turbocharged 2.3-liter engine and 270 horsepower were ideal for weekend warriors, yet focus groups repeatedly labeled it forgettable. Budget-conscious drivers gravitated to the Maverick's sub-$30,000 hybrid value, and loyalists didn't even consider stepping down from the F-150's legacy. Dealers tried bundling free bedliners, trailer hitches, and extended loans to shift inventory, but with little success. Rangers sat under showroom lights, overlooked by shoppers who saw no clear reason to choose them. Incentives ballooned. A redesigned Colorado that once commanded $45,000 could now come with more than $4,000 in cashback deals. Ford gave away Ranger accessories and financed rates down to 1.9% just to spark showroom traffic. but it felt like a bandage on a deeper wound. Buyers weren't stuck on specs, they were stuck on stories. And the mid-size narratives felt muddled. Was the Colorado a no-nonsense workhorse? Was the Canyon a quasi-luxury pick? Was the Ranger meant to be versatile or all-in? Mixed messaging created confusion, and confusion breeds apathy. By the time shoppers finished running the numbers, mid-sized trucks had lost their allure. Rather than standing out, they blended into the background, and dealers faced growing rows of unmoved units. Preferences shifted back to extremes, either cheap and efficient compacts or all-out full-size legends. The trucks caught in the middle? They languished. Price confusion is one thing, luxury bloat is another. High-end trims that once symbolized the ultimate upgrade started to feel more like the ultimate markup. Take the Ford F-150 Platinum, leather seats, massaging headrests, and a 12-inch digital cluster, but that luxury came with a six-figure tag. In many markets, buyers balked at spending $75,000 plus on what was, at its core, still a truck. Dealers report long delays moving Platinum units, even after offering $8,000 cash back and 2 years of complimentary maintenance. Ram 1500. Limited models followed suit. Real wood trim and premium leather wrapped around an MSRP north of $70,000, yet customers began questioning why they should pay that extra margin when a Bighorn or Laramie delivered nearly identical performance for $20,000 less. Once best-in-class interior bragging rights turned into, why is this truck priced like a luxury SUV? That question echoed through showrooms and online forums alike. GMC's Sierra 1500 took a similar gamble, chrome-clad grille, Michelin tires, and a Bose sound system at an MSRP that started $4,000 above its mechanically twin Silverado. Buyers ran the numbers and found the only premium difference was the badge and stitching. The result? Sierra dealers slashed $6,000 off MSRP, bundled in free service plans, and still watched inventory grow. Meanwhile, Silverado loyalists celebrated that they could get the same towing numbers, same engine options, and almost the same feel without paying a luxury tax. When loyalty meets luxury bloat, the brand halo shatters. Reports now show brand-switching spikes. Buyers who once swore by Ford or Ram moving to Japanese imports or even staying in the used market. As high-end models linger, dealerships are rolling out bold incentives, 0% financing for 72 months, lifetime powertrain warranties, and accessory packages that add another $3,000 of apparent value. Yet, even with those sweeteners, the narrative sticks. Modern buyers won't pay for features they barely need. Luxury that outpaces practicality weakens trust. And when trust erodes, even legendary names can stumble. In the next chapter, we'll see how heritage misfires, like Toyota's hybrid Tundra and Nissan's discontinued Titan, turned buyers into skeptics and turned once faithful owners away for good. Honda's reputation for bulletproof reliability hit a snag when Toyota tore up the script on the Tundra. For decades, the Tundra's naturally aspirated V8 whispered trusted workhorse. No surprises, no gimmicks. A dependable companion that soldiered past 200,000 miles with ease. In 2022, Toyota flipped the switch to a twin-turbo hybrid V6, promising 437 horsepower, 583 pound-feet of torque, and better fuel economy. On paper, it was the evolution fans had been waiting for, until disappointment set in. Longtime Tundra owners felt blindsided. Questions swirled. How reliable is that hybrid battery in 100-degree Arizona heat? What about repair costs when something goes south? Enthusiastic reviews focused on power gains, but the old guard heard betrayal instead. Walking into showrooms, they saw base prices climb from the mid-40,000s into the high 50,000s almost overnight. Sure, there were loyalty rebates and cashback deals, but nothing could quash the murmurs of, "This used to be simple." Toyota dealers now juggle aggressive financing and $5,000 bonus cash just to coax holdouts into considering the new model. Yet, sold stickers paint a clear picture. Trust takes years to build and seconds to fracture. Across the lot, Nissan's Titan era ended with a thud in 2023. Once pitched as the scrappy underdog, Japanese engineering, American gusto, the Titan carved out a modest niche with its 400 horsepower V8 and 413 pound-feet of torque. Fleet buyers had peaked, but true loyalty never fully ignited. When Nissan pulled the plug, rumors spread fast. Concerns over parts, shortages, service support drying up, and resale values plumbing new lows. Dealers bumped incentives by more than $5,000, offering bundled warranties and financing as low as 1.9%. Still, buyers looked at the darkened factory lines and asked, why invest in a truck that might become Orphansville a year from now? Discontinuation isn't just the end of production. It's a signal that decades of trust no longer matter. When brand heritage collides with cold economics, owners feel betrayed. As the Tundra loyal mourn a vanished V8 lineage, Titan fans watch showroom specials roll by, wondering if scarcity equals safety. Both cases prove this. Heritage alone can't hold ground when buyers smell uncertainty. So if legacy brands stumble when they push too far or fade into oblivion, what do buyers crave? In the next section, we'll uncover what happens when raw ruggedness loses its luster. When trucks built for off-road heroics find themselves stranded on pavement. Jeep's Gladiator promised the thrill of rock-crawling trails just as easily as paved highways. With a 3.6-liter V6 churning out 285 horsepower and classic Jeep styling, including removable doors and roof panels, it looked like the ultimate adventure pickup. Early buzz called it the Wrangler you can sleep in, and off-road influencers shared footage of it clawing up boulders. But for most buyers, that rugged freedom never matched real life. On daily commutes and highway hauls, the Gladiator's suspension felt jittery. Cabin noise rang relentless, and steering lacked precision. Drivers who dreamed of desert dunes found themselves annoyed by every pothole. Then, there was the cost. Fully loaded models crossed the $50,000 line, placing the Gladiator head-to-head with more refined trucks that offered smoother rides and quieter cabins. Dealers tried to stoke interest with deep rebates, some as high as 20% off MSRP, plus free off-road accessory bundles, rock rails, steel bumpers, skid plates. Limited edition badges and themed decals flooded showrooms. Yet even those extras couldn't convince shoppers who realized they'd rather pay a premium for comfort and daily usability than pay up for weekend thrills they couldn't use. Not far behind in this no man's land was Honda's Ridgeline. Less a pickup, more a crossover wearing a truck's clothes. Its unibody chassis and independent rear suspension delivered a ride more akin to an SUV, with a lockable in-bed trunk and a dual-action tailgate that made parking lot loading effortless. Suburban families appreciated the smoothness, but hardcore truck buyers scoffed. It's not a real truck. They pointed to its 280 horsepower V6 and 5,000-pound tow rating as underwhelming, even though those numbers fit many drivers' daily needs. Deals popped up: 0% financing, 2 years of free maintenance, dealer-installed accessories. But Ridgeline showed up on lots and lingered, ignored by owners who saw it as neither fish nor fowl. Too soft for work crews, too truckish for SUV shoppers. These rugged models laid bare a simple truth. Brand image alone can't guarantee sales if buyer lifestyles don't align. Riders chasing an aspirational identity found themselves disappointed, while practical-minded drivers skipped over compromises, leaving inventory to pile up. If freedom felt like compromise, what about incentives? In Section 8, we'll see how dealers have tried to outrun fading demand with creative offers, and why even the most generous deals can't always ignite buyer passion. Dealers have responded to stagnant lots with an all-out incentive blitz, an arms race to keep unsold pickups moving before floor space costs sink profits. It starts with cutthroat rebates. Some F-150s now carry $10,000 cashback deals, while Ram 1500s boast up to $12,000 off MSRP. But dealers don't stop there. Fleet managers whisper of lifetime powertrain warranties thrown in, and banks advertise 0% financing for up to 84 months, meaning buyers can spread payments over 7 years at zero interest. To sweeten the pot, accessory bundles flood the showroom floor. Everything from spray-in liners and tow packages to free premium floor mats and high-end stereo upgrades. Some dealers even offer demo specials, where customers can test drive a lightly used model at deeply discounted prices, or loyalty shuffles, guaranteeing existing owners an extra $2,000 trade-in bonus if they stick with the same brand. In colder states, winter package credits, block heaters, heated seats, and snow-ready tires help trim off-list costs just to avoid watching red tags expire. The logic seems simple. More perks equal more eyeballs. Yet in many regions, lots remain stubbornly full. And 3-year-old inventory still sits under the showroom lights. Analysts warn that this incentive war is only making things worse. Every dollar slashed from MSRP chips away at perceived value, further eroding buyer trust. When a brand known for toughness feels like it's begging for attention, buyers question what really went wrong. A recent report predicts that brand loyalty may dip below 40% this year, an all-time low, because shoppers feel empowered to wait out even deeper discounts rather than buying at full price. Floor plan interest fees climb when inventory lingers, so dealers slash prices more aggressively, which in turn trains buyers to expect future blowouts. It's a vicious cycle. Incentives intended to clear space only incentivize buyers to hold off until deeper cuts appear. What's next? Automakers are bracing for a reckoning. Production cuts are already rolling out. Ford plans to reduce full-size truck volume by 15% in Q3 2025, and GM has paused lines at 2 plants to prevent further lot congestion. Meanwhile, whispers of direct-to-consumer clearance events and subscription-style leasing models signal a shift in how trucks might be sold going forward. Some brands are quietly exploring rent-to-own programs and partner networks with ride-sharing companies to keep wheels turning off the showroom floor. Yet no amount of creative financing can restore shattered trust overnight. Buyers now demand transparent pricing, genuine value, and proof of long-term support, especially for EVs, where battery longevity remains a question mark. The winners in this next phase will be the brands that pivot away from discount fatigue and refocus on clear, customer-first narratives. Here's why this truck deserves your paycheck. Not, here's how much we'll cut to make you buy today. If the current incentive arms race has taught us anything, it's that desperation never looks good in a showroom mirror. Now it's up to automakers and dealers to rebuild trust, tell compelling stories, and prove that tomorrow's pickups are worth more than just a red ink discount. We'll explore how emerging subscription models and digital retail experiences might reshape the pickup market, and whether those shifts can finally break the cycle of discounts and distrust. Every truck on a dusty lot tells a story of shifting tides. Steel, once celebrated, now sits silent because prices outpaced paychecks. Electric promises fell short of reality, and identity crises left models stranded between niches. From the flooded Ram 1500 lots to the unloved Gladiator and the loyalists who felt betrayed by Toyota's hybrid Tundra, we've seen how loyalty fractures when trust erodes. Those incentive wars and six-figure trims reveal one truth. Desperation in a showroom mirror only reflects deeper problems. Buyers want clear value, not constant markdowns. If you've noticed these trucks gathering dust in your town, drop a comment below and let us know which models are haunting your local dealerships. Hit like if you learned something new, then subscribe and ring that bell. Our next deep dive will unpack emerging subscription programs and digital retail models that aim to break this cycle of discount fatigue. Because the warning signs are there, and the brands that heed them will be the ones still standing when everyone else is clearing inventory. Read the signs. Your next pickup decision depends on it.